Hey everybody, I'm Axel, the Wondrous Writing Witch. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're all having a wonderful week so far. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite war tropes when it comes to fiction. As always, I would love to hear about your guys' favorites in the comments below. And if you could do all the other things to please the algorithm gods, like, subscribe, ring that bell, I would vastly appreciate it. It's actually, I think, on that side. I pointed to the wrong side. Ignore it. Also, take a look at this cute, creepy thing. I love it. My friend Marisha made it. I'll drop her tag below. But it's this cute little demon kitty. Kitties. I don't know what to call it. I'm still trying to name them. But aren't they cute? I love it. They might just join me on every episode now because I can't have my actual cats in here because they're menaces to society sometimes. But irrelevantly, if you guys have any name ideas, comment them below. Otherwise, on to today's tropes. To start off this list, I want to talk about banner effects. Now, I haven't seen it done a whole lot in novels, but I have seen it done in video games and in the anime The Record of the Grand Crest War. It's a great standalone, and you should all go watch it. But in the show, there is crests that you have for your rank, and however many people you have under your rule, or however strong you are, essentially you get varying degrees of crests, and once you get to a certain degree you can employ a banner effect for all of the people that are under you, giving them various status buffs. And I just think that's really neat, and it could be explored a lot more, and I would love to see how it could be explored. Okay, coming in at number 4 is the Doomsday Device. It doesn't necessarily need to be a device. It could be an end-of-the-world spell. It could be an asteroid employed by the aliens. It could be a giant space laser. It could be whatever you want, as long as it is the end-of-the-world level. It's an interesting dynamic that we try to fictionalize, even though we as humans have created like nuclear weapons which could do something similar. And so it is an interesting concept to think about, and how the message usually ends up being no one should have these weapons. I agree with that. No one should have end of the world level weapons. That's just asinine. But in fiction, it's fun to analyze, and it's fun to just see how that all goes and how people react and how exactly they would achieve end of the world, because there's so many ways that the world has, been threatened in fiction. There's infinite possibilities of how you want to end your world, and it's just neat. It's just a neat concept. And so I also would like to see that explored more. Coming in at number 3 is magic military arts, and that's when we get the military side to what would happen if people could use magic, like Fort Salem, for instance. That shit's wild, and it's super interesting because we as humans unfortunately like to militarize and weaponize things because we like power, and it is just an interesting concept to see again how people would handle it and how wars maybe would have happened if somebody had the power to raise the dead, basic healing, or to even just throw a basic ass fireball. Like how that would have affected wars, whether it's historical fiction where they're retelling a previous war of how that would have gone with magic, or if it's just a fantastic war in general. It's interesting to see how those forces would be employed. Okay, number 2 is going to raise some flags, but you know what? It's fiction, and I can like what I like. I love a good suicide mission. Just taking that last stand and knowing it's either dying and fleeing or dying and fighting, and you choose to fight anyway, knowing it could cost you your life. There's just something just really intense and emotional about it, and it's just, the dynamic is so wild. And that most of us, I hope, on the day-to-day don't have to deal with those extremes. I know some people, like first responders and whatnot, sometimes do have to deal with those. However, the day-to-day person doesn't have to risk their lives on the daily. So it's just an interesting kind of wild thought process that goes through your head about what would you do if you were in that situation. Coming in at number 1, okay, when it's fantasy, I love me some mounted combat. If it's realistic, don't give me mounted combat because you're gonna hurt the horsies, and I don't want to see you hurt the horsies, okay? I don't. Don't leave my horsies alone. Leave all the animals alone. They didn't do nothing to you. They didn't ask for this war. However, if you're riding a motherfucking dragon or a fucking unicorn, I'm so for it, okay? Let's charge into battle on a unicorn. That just sounds awesome to me. And if I had, like, Toothless to go fly around on and shoot plasma bolts at people when, you know, I would be game. I would be game for some mounted warfare. I still don't want any of the fictional animals hurt either, but usually they have some form of magic power or healing or protection, so it's okays. It's not always okays. Don't give me animals if you're gonna hurt them. Alright, don't do it. But if they're super strong like dragons, you could toss around some fireballs and they'll be fine. They'll have a little singe on their scales. They can be fine. But don't hurt my babies, okay? Okay, this is a very touch and go enjoyed trope. I love it and I hate it at the same time. Don't hurt the mounts, okay? Leave the mounts alone and just shoot the riders, okay? Just, I could go on all day. I digress. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Those are my favorite tropes when we're talking about war and fiction. As always, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below. And until next week, spread all the love and joy you can. Bye.